Welcome to another episode of Prattle with Tré Vayne for connoisseurs of casual conversation. Each week, my guests and I will chit-chat about an obsession of theirs that captures their interests and their soul. This week, we investigate whether the alien superstar has kikied in the cosmos. Let's go. In another life, I'd like to be reborn just a fraction as talented, funny, gorgeous, and sultry as this week's guest. But thankfully, in this life, I get to be her friend and number one stan. Morghan Kennedy is an R&B artiste with a mighty pen and vicious vocals. And she's come to Prattle. Everyone, please welcome Morghan Kennedy to Prattle. Thank you for coming on. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
It is such an honor to be here. I am a longtime stan of Prattle, and I can't believe this is happening.
Morghan truly is like, she was the first one to be like, bitch, the podcast is nice. Bring it back and actually do it. What, 5 years ago? So Morghan, you had to be a part of the Prattle rebirth, upgrade, glow up vibe. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
So I met Morghan. A lot of my guests are going to be this way, but I met Morghan through that big purple school in the square, NYU. And we both had the same student job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hiring for the student job. And this girl walks in. We were like doing all of these little interviews. And groups of 12 people walk in, whatever. And this girl walks in. And I'm like, first of all, I was like, ooh, black girl. And then second, I was like, I like her style. And you fucking killed it and you fucking crushed it. And we've been friends ever since.
Well, I don't know if Trey's going to tell you all this, but Tré was the it girl of this student job.
I was not. I was in the mix, but I was not the it girl.
Everyone was such a fan. And so I'm so excited. That's probably the primary demographic for this podcast. So I'm excited.
Hi, ambassadors. Yeah, we had this student job we had was very special because it was part job, part cult, part sex ring, part I didn't do any of that. I wasn't a part of that. I was too afraid. You didn't hook up with any ambassadors?
Next question.
Perfect. You love a plead the fifth. But yeah, no, it was a really fun job and Morghan was a fucking killer. And then we were like close during then, and then I moved away from New York, and then when I moved back, we became really, really close because I go to all of Morghan's shows. Not all, let me not, because she's very booked. I can't go to all your shows. But I go to a lot of Morghan shows, and she's an incredible singer and artist. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I appreciate that.
This is also a fun story I just wanted to share because so after I moved from New York, whatever, I was just going through a lot. I was going through a friend breakup. Like I didn't like my best friend anymore, so I was like cutting off everyone, and so I ended up like cutting off and blocking a lot of people. And then when I moved back, Morgan's good friend and my good friend, but we weren't talking, me and the friend, and Morghan goes, we're gonna fix that. So Morghan had a little party, and now, I mean, I love the friend. To the friend, I love you. You're the best.
Yeah, it's the worst whenever two people with really good souls are not harmonizing, and you know it's someone else's doing. Like, I don't have the patience for that. Like,
yeah, we were bamboozled, and yeah, we had some misinformation. That's why I wasn't into the person, but we cleared that. Morghan cleared that out.
Justice prevailed.
So also speaking about, like I said, Morghan's a singer, Morghan's an artist, Morghan's a writer. And one of the things that you love, and I love a lot, but you definitely love more than me, is Miss Beyoncé.
I do.
You love Miss Beyoncé.
I love Miss Beyoncé. I am a Hive member. I am an OG stan.
Card-carrying member.
I loved her since Destiny's Child. Emotions by Destiny's Child, I think, is the first song that I like remember like as a child. Like, I'm locked in.
Is that the one that's like Taking Me Over, right? Is that another song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't sing too much of that. We're not gonna.
No, I have zero money for Beyonce. You see the light up, the setting, my bank account's gone. And I am a big fan of Beyonce, but you're like a bigger fan, and you teach me things about Beyonce all the time. And one of the things, when I was like, Morghan, like, what do you want to do on this podcast? I was assuming it'd be Beyonce, but you shocked me because I was like, what do you want the topic to be? And Morghan goes, Beyonce and Jay-Z have been to space?
Yes.
They've been to space.
Okay. So let me just start this off by saying I don't know anything about anything.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just here to spread tomfoolery and shenanigans. But okay, so actually, I think it was during 2020 or 2021. 2021, I had a Zoom birthday party like all of us did at the time. And mine was like a presentation-based Zoom birthday party.
The best theme.
It was
I love
so
those
fun.
parties, and it was so much fun.
And so I let everybody go. I said, you have 5 minutes just to talk about whatever wild thing you want to talk about. All of my friends talk way too much. All of the presentations were like 15 minutes long. It was ridiculous. It ran so late. But mine was about this idea that I have. And it's just an idea based on so
I
little.
love it.
But I kind of feel like Beyonce and Jay-Z have been to space. I feel like if they haven't, they should go and they should take me. This is my pitch.
Group chat.
This is my pitch. We see it like in their music a couple of times. They've been referencing space like all of the time. We see it in Upgrade You. Have you ever been to Saturn? No, not the car, but everywhere we are.
Well,
We see it in Lift Off. Obviously, we can take it to the moon, take it to the stars. How many people you know can take it this far? We're gonna take this whole thing to Mars. We've seen it in Ape Shit. Call my girls and put them all in a spaceship. Now,
first of all, fully cited sources and how they format.
I thought about it. She keeps bringing it up. I'm like, hang on. And then we see it all across Renaissance, Alien Superstar, the whole thing, and the whole like futuristic building cities, alien robot, the whole theme of that era. And I feel like it's not too far off. Again, she could be talking about, another level, another like a spaceship, like a car, all this stuff. She could be talking about that, but we have to think about the amount of money that is at play. This woman has so much money and just so much money and so much social capital that she can do things like shoot music videos in the Louvre. And we know that NASA can be bought because they did the iCarly episode at NASA. Carly goes to NASA. I don't know.
Oh,
Carly goes
that.
to space or some crap. And then they also did, Ariana Grande has the song NASA, and they let her go in there and like spin around in their $1 million equipment and just like have a ball. So is it entirely impossible that on the low, once a year, once every other year, we have the annual like B-Day Space Jam or something where she gets like a handful of all of her people. They do the training. She loves to like not eat for a couple weeks.
She loves getting into it. She's I'm cutting out carbs. I'm cutting out solids.
She said I'm letting it all go.
Proteins,
Right?
atoms. She's not doing it.
She does a little cleanse. And we also know she loves the ocean. And what is the ocean if not earthbound space? Like they're very
Isn't that what she said in that interview?
But she's always like jumping into the ocean and all that stuff. And she likes to feel small and this massive thing. And that is what space is. So I'm like, okay, what if you drop a couple million, you sign all these NDAs? Because I think, I'm just going all over the place, but I think what's his name?
I'm loving it. Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos.
Well, exactly. Both of them have been to space. And I just found out this year about the excursions that all the rich people are going to like see the Titanic underwater and the submersible and all that stuff. I didn't even know that was a thing that people, like my brain doesn't work like that. Like our brains, normal, regular people don't think that way. So we have to think biggie.
And I also think that it's not that, like, I'm not surprised if she went to space, she wouldn't tell anyone. She's not doing she's not doing a photo.
She doesn't want you bitches in space. She
no,
doesn't
she
want
wants none of you bitches in space. And also, it's like rich people, when you get to a level when you're that rich, you have to be bored as fuck all the time. So like, if a normal person's like, ooh, I can't wait to go to France, and it's like a big deal to us. But then for her, it's like, okay, she's been around the world, and we only have one world, so there's nowhere to go back.
Yeah, and I don't think she's like bored. I just think like you've seen all this stuff, and when you're like larger than life, I can just imagine being like, you know what? Let's just get away. And we just hop on our little rocket and we go out and we look at the planet. And Jay-Z loves to smoke and they're just getting high in space. I think they're getting high in space.
would love to hotbox. I was gonna say the Challenger blew up, right? I don't know. I was going to say the Challenger, but one of them blew up. I don't want to be on that one. But I would love to hotbox a spaceship. That'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing. I'm sure there's like regulations. I'm sure there's like rules and what you can do. Maybe we just pop a couple edibles before. I don't know. I don't know the rules. I've never been there.
We've never been.
But
would you go to space?
If Beyonce invited me.
Okay, that's true. But you would go to space even if Beyonce invited you.
If Beyonce invited me, yeah.
I want my 2 feet on this ground till the day I die. I am not curious about space. I'm not curious about Mars. Keep it. We fucked up one planet. We shouldn't go to another.
Yeah.
But I would do that. They have these voyages where like you could go to space, but it's like it's like you're in a plane and the plane goes into the part of space that's not space, but it's still our atmosphere, and you get zero gravity, but you're not like in space.
So maybe she's done something like that. Is that like a tourist attraction? What is that?
I saw it on like a Discovery Channel thing once, so I don't know if
she's definitely been to space.
Yeah.
If they're letting regular people do that, she's definitely like orbited Saturn a couple of times for fun.
Honestly, and why not?
She deserves it.
Yeah, she does deserve it. I also am the biggest fan that's the wrong word. But I had an era when I was in middle school, from middle school to high school, where I was deeply, deeply, deeply entrenched in conspiracy theory lore.
Okay.
And not that this is a conspiracy theory, but it kind of is, right? Because it's like we don't know, but we're like pretty sure about it. Are you a big conspiracy theory? Especially in the music industry, there's nothing better than an Illuminati like deep dive. It's like amazing actually to me.
I get so scared so
It's-
easily, like so quickly. I'm so easily frightened. So even with my fascination with space, like I'll do just enough research
Yeah.
to like have an existential crisis and then I'll stop.
But in the music industry though, with like the Illuminati stuff, yeah, it is scary, but it's like it is just so interesting because it is weird how many things like actually pop up. I have to like tread lightly because I never want to sound like a psycho conspiracy theorist, but they're like, do you have any conspiracy theories that you kind of believe or would believe?
About
I guess anything about music or about like people say chemtrails, people say like the line that planes leave in the sky. We're getting like kind of, are we getting QAnon-y? Let's hope not.
what? You're losing me, babe.
I know. Okay, we're deep in the conspiracy. I guess we'll just go back to Illuminati. Do you believe in Illuminati?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to
Okay.
do Illuminati.
Like, you said, okay, that's hands off that.
I could tell you my thoughts on aliens.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you believe? What do you think about? You're more scared of the Illuminati than aliens.
Yeah, because it's
That's-
different. I don't know. It's different. But my thing with aliens, okay. And I'm kind of obsessed with this, and I've been just a menace to everyone who's matched with me on Hinge for the last like couple of months because I won't stop talking about this. Okay, so we have our senses, right? That's how we perceive the world. We have 5 senses, and those senses work however they work. So like we have 3 cones in our eyes that let us see all the colors that we see, right? Like red, blue, and green, and that brings all of these colors, right?
Yeah.
And there's that shrimp. You know about this shrimp? Have you heard about this shrimp?
The shrimp that fried the rice, or what?
So there's this shrimp, this kind of shrimp that lives in the ocean that has 12 cones, where we have 3. So they can see colors that our brain literally just cannot think to imagine.
I'm
Like they're
jealous.
seeing things that we just are incapable of perceiving or even imagining, right? So when you think about that, it is so hilarious to think that any human would ever be at all capable of understanding the universe in its entirety, actually.
Absolutely.
Right? And here's an example of that. Whenever you've seen those like videos and articles of like the black holes that like make sounds, or like the sun that like makes a sound.
Black holes are one of those things where it's like it's just too much for me. Like it's so crazy that I have not. And sounds in space don't freak me out that much, but black holes, I'm like, yeah, they're something else. But they're very interesting.
Right? But they're terrifying. But here's the thing, there is no sound in space. So what happens is, so we have the way that we perceive things, and we have the dimensions that we exist
Because there's
in.
no air. Of course there's no sound.
Girl,
in
what?
space.
Well, okay, hold on. Stay
No,
with me.
I'm saying that makes sense with me. That
Right.
makes sense. Okay.
Right. So we have these 3 dimensions that we live in, and we have the way that we perceive like things. Whenever they send their little instruments out to space, girl, I don't know those girls, but they
An
send
oboe, a bass.
yeah, a little flute, you know. Whenever they sing their little 12-piece band out to space,
The Philharmonic.
they go out there and they collect data. All sorts of data. They collect x-rays, they collect a bunch of stuff that we can't perceive. And then they translate that data into sound waves. So really these huge heavenly bodies are doing something that we don't understand and cannot perceive, and then we just translate that into something that we can. So
You know, the last time a heavenly body said something, we translated it ourselves. We got told that being gay will send you to hell. So I don't
Right.
trust whatever the fuck we're hearing. I know.
Right. And it's so crazy. And so knowing that, and that this is as much of the universe as we can perceive, these 3 dimensions, and scientists are like, we don't know how many dimensions there are, but there are at least 10. They have like locked
I
down that
can't
there's at
even-
least 10. There's no way that there's not something between 3 and at least 10.
There's got to be a lot of something.
Something that we're just not perceiving, something that we're just incapable of imagining. So are there aliens? Statistically, like there has
No,
to
yeah,
be. There
yeah.
has to just be something out there. And then you can get into, if you want to get a little woo-woo, you can get into the crossover between like spirituality and aliens.
Oh my God. Yeah, I went to an Episcopalian school. We're gonna get into that. And I have something like that. That makes a lot of sense. Like, I feel like aliens and ghosts and religion are all kind of like manifestations of things we can't explain. We know this,
Right.
right? Like, we thought thunder was the voice of God. We found out it was just hot and cold air. And one of the things about dimensions and like religion that really always interested me, someone was saying like, imagine this second dimension, because we live in the third, but imagine the second dimension. Imagine you have a piece of paper and you have like a little guy and he's like in his house, right? So like the paper's like this and this is the guy and he's in his house. To him, he's in his house, he's fully safe because there's only two dimensions. So he looks up, he looks to the left, he looks to the right, there are walls.
Right.
But we're looking down from the third plane and just seeing him.
Exactly.
So someone was like, what if aliens or ghosts are people from the fourth dimension, where it's like they are all around us, but we just can't see them. And all of our conceptions of like, we're like right now I'm in a 3D room. What if someone is just looking at us through the fourth dimension?
I'm scared.
And that doesn't scare me, but it doesn't scare me to the
scared.
fact where like sometimes, like I said, I'm a little delulu. So like when I was younger and I was like alone, I'd be like, I'm the main character of this reality show in space. The aliens love hearing about me. And so I just like walk around like I was on a little reality show.
Yeah, and it can be beautiful instead of scary. If we accept a more like absurdist approach of like nothing matters unless I say it matters,
Yeah.
then we can say something like, okay, the universe as we understand it is full of these self-sustaining systems, right? The way that plants grow and the exchange of energy and matter that's moving through the ecosystem. If you release too much of this gas, then you'll melt the ice caps and everything will freeze over and then it'll thaw out and then, the whole thing will start all over again. Like it's very self-sustaining. So there's this school of thought, and every fact I know is just a rumor I heard.
That's literally me. That's literally me. You got to check it yourself if you want to believe it. I'm good.
Look into it. I'm having a good time. Okay, I know enough to get through my evening. But there's this idea that like, okay, if consciousness is like any other form of matter, maybe it can be a part of this self-sustaining system where it can move into this dimension that we don't really get to perceive after death. So that's the kind
beautiful.
of right, and it's just fun. Like I'm not doing anything.
No,
but it's just like a
that.
fun little thought, and it's also the kind of the marriage, the bridge between like aliens and like ghosts or spirits. I don't know. It's just
so what do you feel about this year being like the first year that governments have told us that there are aliens? Like literally governments around the world have been like, yeah, we don't know what's going on with them, but we know they're there. That's crazy to me. Like that's pretty insane.
That is crazy. I think it just like speaks to like there's so much going on here
so much.
that like
It's way too much.
the general public was just like not concerned with what was going on.
Oh, I think people actively I think people were like, I can't accept that and I can't have that, so
Right.
it's not real.
And honestly, but I feel like Beyonce kind of took it seriously because like we can see like with the Renaissance, I feel like she's sending Alien Superstar. I feel like she's like, if they're out there, they need to know who I am.
Beyonce's a businesswoman first and foremost. And
She said, "I'm gonna make a deal.
trying to book that first concert, that first stadium tour. Or
The Intergalactic Stadium Tour.
Intergalactic Stadium Tour. But that would be kind of
love
cool
it.
to be like, because like Earth, maybe it's because we've grown up so much with aliens and outer space and different dimensions, and now we have the multiverse. Like Earth does feel small, so it'd be kind of cool if it was bigger out there. But it's like, how much bigger can the universe really get?
So big. You literally can't fathom how big it is.
I know.
Like it's so
I
massive.
can't even fathom how big an IKEA is. I can barely do the universe. Never that. What's the weirdest thing that you would believe about Beyonce?
What's the weirdest thing that I would believe about Beyonce? Define weird.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll say that like we were saying, like celebrities are just weird people, right?
Yeah.
Really rich, really successful people are always weird. And they're not usually, but I've noticed that there's a high chance that they're gonna be the weirdest about longevity. Because I've been thinking about this, right? Because obviously a lot of people and most organisms are afraid to die. And I like, not that celebrities or rich people have everything, but they definitely have the one thing that everyone else who doesn't have it is always looking for, which is money. And a lot of people think that money is happiness, whatever. So it's like, so when someone gets the nice house, the nice car, all of the money things, I'm always interested in what are they afraid of and what bothers them, because that's kind of like the non-systematic true worries of life. Like a lot of us are worried about bills. We made that up. A lot of us are worried about all that kind of stuff. But like, what are the people who have everything? They don't. But what do they worry about? And it's always health and living longer. And I know that they do weird things about it. So I would believe that Beyonce like sleeps in a hyperbolic chamber, which like a lot of people do just generally.
Really?
Like all the time, but I would believe she like got infused with like, I would anything that she would do to like live better or longer, I would believe because rich people do that. Like they really do.
Yeah.
Like that weird guy who's he looks awful and he's like getting all the blood from his son to like he's like 50, 60 something and he's like, I'm trying this new thing where I'm like he's like farming his son for blood. I don't know. He's injecting himself with his son's blood. He looks pale as fuck. He looks so sickly and it's almost funny, but it's really disturbing mostly.
I've not heard of that. That is terrifying.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. He's just like doing it. I don't know. He's trying to start a company for it. And he looks like a vampire, which is funny because he's like literally consuming blood. But yeah. Do you think Beyonce's weird at anything or do you think she's like totally fine and normal?
Well, first of all, if she was weird about something, I would sign an NDA. I wouldn't tell anyone. So.
Also, Beyonce would too. We're fully manifesting Beyonce on this couch and, soon. Next year.
Next year. Okay, girl.
Yeah,
Next year.
We're about to take off.
I love it. I love it. I don't think she does anything weird because I don't think she's like super obsessed with like living forever because she's kind of spiritual. Like they think that she like
Christian, I forgot.
But like spiritual in like but like spiritual in like a kind of practicing way. Like they think she works with Oshun and like does her like whatever her practices
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I don't know if it would be about that. I think weird. What do I think she does that's weird?
Maybe you don't think she's weird. That's also a valid option. She is Beyonce.
I do believe in like, and again, girl, I'll sign the NDA. Like, I don't care. But I do think the levels that she'll go to for like secrecy are probably pretty extensive. There are rumors about like tapping phones and like making sure that people, which again, girl, tap my phone. Girl, I don't care. I will
Beyonce Nixon. Beyonce Nixon. Okay.
But those are some of the rumors that I've heard that I'm like, I mean, probably, but like, people talk. Like you gotta
fucking talk.
They
People
do.
Talk. Yeah. I also feel like the secrecy thing is like another thing where it's like, yeah, I can't keep a secret. I couldn't be Beyonce because I'd say everything. Like I'd post an Instagram story on the Ferris wheel being like filming a self-titled album. Like I would do it. I would have to do it.
That's real. I love being private. I love keeping a little secret.
You do? Okay.
I love it.
Do. Okay, one of my favorite things about Morghan, because I really do believe you should like be around people who are different than you. And one of my favorite things about Morghan is that like you will leave whenever you want to leave. You will leave somewhere. You will not show up somewhere. Morghan is like not even a joke. Like Morgan's always like she needs the names, addresses, IP addresses, and social security number of everyone going to a party because God forbid someone she's like not vibing with is there. And it's amazing. And it's like I really do respect that you protect your space, your peace, and your art too. You're very protective with your art.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
People move so weird. So I'm quick to stay home if I don't like the people. Like they can be weird out there. I'll stay home. It's fine. And I think the only reason that I'm like willing to leave somewhere and like we'll go when it's time to go and like is because for so long I didn't do that. For so long I showed up to things out of a sense of obligation. For so long I would just like stay at parties way too long. And then what happens is I have a terrible time and I'm like terrible company around those
you
people.
Can never be terrible company.
Girl. and then I go on and then I feel really like almost like a vulnerability hangover. Like I've betrayed myself by staying there too long. Have you? That's a Brene Brown.
I've never heard of that. Phrase. I like that.
Yeah, like after you kind of give too much of yourself in a situation, you might feel kind of sad or like after you have therapy and like tell a lot of yourself, you might like have like negative feelings following that.
I should know what that's like, but I don't. I need to.
This is your therapy.
This is my therapy.
This is your therapy.
No, I'm like, this is my therapy. I'm monetizing and recording it. But
we'll do that.
It's therapy.
Jonah Hill did it. We'll do it.
I really like what you said, and also I'm very driven by quotes and mantras. And one of the quotes that I've taken in this year that's changed my life, Kim Cattrall said, I don't want to be anywhere for even an hour where I'm not enjoying myself. And that is now my ethos of life. Even an hour is kind of long, but then sometimes you got to do shit. But like even an hour is long, but I'm like, yeah, no, like I'm still not good at like leaving things and I'm not good at canceling things that I want to do.
Yeah.
But you are
good at all that.
It's hard because I also am of the carpe diem lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because every time I've left my house when I didn't want to leave. I've had a great time. And something has happened that I was so happy happened that wouldn't have happened if I didn't go out. You know what I mean? Like one time I really didn't want to go to this person's birthday dinner. And because my friend wasn't going, so I was like, I'm not feeling it. And then I went and I met these people. And literally today, one of them like emailed me. You all know how occurrences work. But like, it was just like, you know, every time I like don't want to go out, I do. So I try to honor whenever I say I'm going to do something. But I've learned that not doing stuff is also honoring yourself. Like,
and also that's how I can say yes because I know how to say no.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I can say yes because I know how to say no. I can show up
and that's even a real yes. That's a real full body yes from
exactly. You. I won't like keep myself prisoner to this. I'll go when I'm not having fun anymore. Like it's balance, and that's how I'm able to show up. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I've been trying to put more stock into investing in yourself, staying into yourself. Even like recently with this whole podcast thing, right? Like I'm such a scatterbrained person.
Yeah.
And sometimes I say that people are like, I don't think so, because I'm doing things all the time. But that's the point. Like I'm like a shotgun shooter. I just spray pellets, and I don't know how to like snipe and like whatever. If that made sense. But what was I saying?
With the podcast, you're scatterbrained.
With my podcast, I'm scatterbrained.
No.
See? Wow.
I'm also scatterbrained.
I didn't even plan that. I don't know what I was saying, but so in this like whole journey, it's like I've been trying to learn. Like I came to the realization that I need to start saying no to plans to even think about doing things on my own. Like this podcast can't happen unless I stay home for a couple nights. And like even this past 2 weeks, I've been like, when someone will like FaceTime me, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm editing, and that feels like such a stupid bullshit excuse. But it's actually not. It's actually the most important thing I could be doing. It's like investing in my little personal wares.
It is.
Yeah.
And if someone else were paying you to do it, you wouldn't feel silly for saying I have to go.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's like my biggest fucking flop quality is that like a boss will be like, do this, and I'll like cook and clean and like, I'll do everything so amazingly, immaculately over the top. If I'm like, oh, I should do this, I will never get it done. I don't know why. I need to create a persona I need to break my mind like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but the other guy is just like a really productive project manager. Like that's what I need. I really, really need that.
And I think that's everyone's lament with trying to chase your dreams, is that it happens on your own time. Nobody shows up and says, are you chasing your dreams today? Are you doing whatever? Like it really just happens on your own time. So it's so easy to just dismiss it, and it's so easy to just prioritize everybody else's needs and what everybody else wants from you besides what you want from yourself. And that's how you lose your dreams to 9 to 5s and everything else. And you can't. But look at you. We're here.
We're fucking here.
And you're doing it.
We're fucking here. And also Morgan's here. Morgan's doing it. Morgan's also one of the definitely like my like friend, I think, who spends the most amount of time investing in herself and what she's doing. Like truly, like I don't like Morgan's like gigging every single week, writing, recording. She just did like promo. She like never does, and she said promo.
I hate promo so bad.
And then she like is killing it. So where did you find? Did you have like a switch? Were you always a person who was pursuing your personal interests, or did it like take time and take a switch?
I started singing in a church choir when I was 2 years old, and I was in love with it. Like I
Church
knew
girl.
truly. But I knew that I was in love with it. Like I was never, we were always just locked in.
I love that.
And so like throughout my life, it was always just me chasing the next performance wherever I could find like a locked in audience. So I found my way to theater, of course, musical theater. And I did that for a while, and I love theater, but it was never really, I'm not an actress.
You are not a theater girl, but you could be an actor. But you're not a theater
Everybody
girl.
says you can be an actor. I just want to sing my little songs.
Sing your song.
It's like, you can do all this other stuff. Literally just let me sing my song.
Give me a mic.
Give me the mic. But I do respect theater as a practice, and I still work in theater, and I love it so much. But then I discovered music and music making, like as the business component of it and all of that stuff. And I was like, I kind of realized my junior year, as I was pre-law, so I was supposed to be preparing for the LSAT. And
I didn't even know that, but you could be a lawyer in 2000.
Girl, no, I can't. But I realized that if I was ever going to have a real shot at this, I had to sort of take it seriously. No, sort of, but like I had to devote a lot of myself to it. Otherwise, like I couldn't just keep splitting and having it be like a small A small pocket. So I try my best and I tell myself all the time, you have the rest of your life to give up on your dreams, so you don't have to do it today. If it's not working out right
I like
now.
that. I like
Yeah. If
that.
you're gonna procrastinate something, procrastinate giving up. Just put it off, just put it off. Eventually you can stop. It doesn't have to be today. And so I started writing music more regularly after I did a show through school, which helped me like discover my like writing chops from like childhood. I wrote songs as a kid that I stopped and
Aw.
then rediscovered it when I was like 18. And now I just record. Right now I'm doing this thing where I put out singles every month until the end of this year. So it's super fun. Stream it, Morghan Kennedy.
Stream it now.
Yes,
Well, finish the episode.
we'll finish the episode, yeah, and then
Yeah.
go and then
In
stream
the
it. It's
backyard.
Morgan with an H. Yeah.
No,
I
that's really
just-
beautiful. And like that's like really like I feel like that moment of fuck, like I just wanted to ask if I can curse. This is my shit. And I can.
Yeah.
But I was like, that moment where you have to like have the moment of being like, okay, literally nothing happens unless something happens. Nothing changes unless something changes. I tell myself all the time. And like growing up when I was younger, I was very like creative. Creative is the wrong word. I think I was just loud and gay, which reads as creative.
That's creative.
Yeah, that's creative.
Creative.
And I was like into theater as well. And then I remember it was my senior year of high school, and I was like, I'm ready to like apply to colleges for acting programs. And then they were like, yeah, perfect. So you have to do the application, you have to audition. And I go, what? Audition? They're like, yeah, you have to audition to get in. And then I was like, okay, I'm not even going to look into it. And it didn't help that my mom didn't want me to be an actor. So as soon as I was like, I'm a little scared, she was like, yeah, you should be scared, don't do it. So like I never did. She didn't say that. She's
It's
a very
valid,
supportive
though.
woman.
It's very
So I didn't do that. And I went to NYU that was like almost such a creative school that it punked me, which like I'm so mad at that. Like I think about how college, now that I'm older, if you're in college, the people who make the most out of college, the people who I went to school with, who are like legitimately famous out there in the world, like working at their dream job at the highest level, what they had in common is they used college as like a 4-year incubator, and they just ran for everything that they wanted to do. And just like tried everything. And I was like so afraid to do that in college. And then my senior year, I had a moment. I was just like, I can't do this. I had a whole little breakdown. I moved across the country, went to a different grad school. But I had that moment where you were like, you need to take your shit seriously. And now this year on my vision board, I wrote, take yourself seriously on it.
Yeah.
And that's been my shit all year. And I really mean it. And look at us. It's gotten us here. It's beautiful.
And I think the thing for me was also realizing that there was space between me where I was, which was like nowhere, and then like Beyoncé. Like there's a lot of different levels between there, and I'm constantly kind of having the conversation with myself of like, I do have goals and aspirations, but I'm not like, if it's not like the top thing, then I'm a failure. Like I am constantly redefining success, and I feel like if this is as far as it goes, I'm content with just creating, putting it out, performing. Like I feel complete in the process of it.
And I feel like that is the complete process. Like especially with music, right? Like it's like the whole point is like you're putting it out, you're connecting with people, you have a body of work. I also am so intense about leaving things behind. I take pictures and videos about everything. Like I just know like, and when you look back, even right now, I'm sure you can look back at something you did like 2 years ago and be like, you know what? Wow, I can see like the growth. I'm so glad that's out there in the world. Like that's the whole thing. And like, yes, at the height, like, some people are doing the Super Bowl and whatever, but it's like, it's all just a show. It's all just shows and stuff. And most people who are that famous say that the art doesn't feel, unless you're like a Beyonce, you can control everything. I'm sure she still feels artistically fulfilled, but yeah, it's just a lot of things can go wrong when things go right. So I try to just make sure that at every step I'm enjoying myself and I like it. And then at the end, you can't like regret anything if you lead like that, right? Yeah.
Sure.
So when the pandemic was happening and people were kind of going through this thing and people started saying like, after that cringy video of all those people singing like whatever between the people, like rich and famous people, like remember when Kim Kardashian just like went to an island when no one else was leaving the house, she just went to an island with her family. And that's when people started saying that like celebrity is dead. And now I feel like that's been like carried on since. So do you think that the power of celebrity has weakened over the American public?
Oh my God, no.
No, right?
No.
No, we are so obsessed with people, and we should be, and we always will be. I don't think people like to be like, celebrities and influencers aren't anything, they're dead. Like, no, they still not run everything, but We love being entertained, and that's what they do for us.
We do love being entertained. I think that people are just a hair more aware of the like cognitive distance
Yeah.
between us, but they definitely still have power. They definitely still have way too much sway in our society for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask you a difficult Beyonce fan question?
Okay.
So in this power sway vibe, do you think that Beyonce's billionaire status affects her art?
Yes, because it can't not, right? It affects your personhood. But I think that she's aware of it and she's using it. So there was no, I don't think that you could do the things that she's done effectively, like Homecoming and the homage
Yeah.
to HBCUs, and even Renaissance and the homage to ballroom, and then whatever's coming next, which I pray, girl, rock music, please, please, girl,
Beyonce
rock
rock would be
music.
really exciting. Wow, I
Please.
wasn't expecting that, but that would be nice.
But these very tailored spotlights, even with the gift, these very tailored spotlights and amplification of different elements of Black culture, I think she's using her money to, first of all, put on smaller people and artists that weren't,
Yeah.
that you just wouldn't know without that, and creating these things that I think she's doing. It's not like she has all the money and she's like not putting it in there. Like we see the
Yeah.
we see the
Yeah.
the lack of budget on the tour. So like I don't know. It's ethical billionaires, like no, like capitalism. It's all terrible. Like we're not having a good time. But I think she is using her resources to make informed art. Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like she just has a grasp on who she is, what she wants to do. And also like she really had like a tangible shift. Right? What was that SNL skit like the day Beyonce turned Black or
Oh my
whatever?
God.
Where it's like, and I also feel like she's like in recent years has been more dedicated to like focusing on giving back and community and legacy. And you're right, she really like started only exclusively, like not exclusively, but mainly collaborating with people who I never heard before from different genres, different worlds, or different markets. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, the Hive member in me is like buzzing in my chest to tell you all the ways that she's been giving back prior to like Lemonade and like.
Oh, you said she's been there. She's fucking. You're right. She's been there.
But we're all just people. It's cool. It's chill. It's whatever. It's whatever. Relax. We're fine. We're all people. But yeah.
Okay, the hot button question. It's been on the lips. Everyone's been typing and tweeting away about it.
Oh my God.
Where do you fall, or what's your stance? That's the wrong word. Not where's the stance. What is your official take on the Beyonce versus Taylor Swift impact debate?
I think it's so dumb.
The eye roll.
I think it's so stupid. Why are they doing that? Like, why
I don't know. They're bored.
They're truly bored. Like, men have been doing stadium tours for forever, and I've yet to see like the top rapper pitted up against Justin Bieber.
You're
or
so
something.
right.
Like
Put
I've
those
never
old-ass
seen that
rock bands
discourse
against each other. Yeah.
Like, calm down. Like the girls were on tour at the same time. Beyonce literally her and Taylor Swift just were at the AMC together. King, you know that was her first time in AMC. She hasn't been. She said, "Oh, y'all don't do private theater."
Oh, okay. It's on your basement, but it'll do.
It'll do. But like, it's so unnecessary. Like, let the girls have their separate moments. They're making all this money. They're having a good time. Like, it's two completely different vibes.
They're also both
fine.
impactful as hell. Like, we can't even like begin to, especially Beyonce. Well, not especially Beyonce. Let me not discredit Taylor, because I've recently become, well, I like was a Taylor fan when she first came out, and then I fell off after she crossed Kim Kardashian, which is a funny reason to fall off of Taylor Swift, but it's true. And then I was like not really back, and then I was like softened up to her over the pandemic, because when like my bestie from like elementary school is a Swiftie, and then recently I started talking to this guy who's a Swiftie, and it kind of opened my eyes. Like, she's kind of, at least her impact is interesting. Like, the things that she does and the effects after are very interesting. Well, I haven't listened to any of her last 4 albums, but yeah, the conversation between Beyonce and Taylor Swift is just stupid, because also they're influencing completely separate spheres of the world and life. Like, there isn't that much like crossover, so who cares who's more impactful?
It's literally just like so unnecessary. Like, they can both do tours. Again, you've never seen that with men. Ever.
I've never seen men. Just kidding.
I've never seen a man.
Okay, so now we're going to move into our little segments that we have here on Prattle.
We have
segments? Okay, so the first one is called the Prattle Rattle Off. I'm going to ask you a series of really fun questions, and you're just going to rattle off your answer, whatever you're thinking, and it's mainly about music. but it's like a bunch of other stuff too.
Okay.
Okay. Your favorite Beyonce era?
I've been thinking about this. I think my favorite era is probably the one we're in right now. I think
Nothing tops
Renaissance.
Renaissance for me.
The era, not the album, but yeah, the era for sure.
You said, let me be
Let me be clear.
Let me be specific. Yeah, no, it's a gorgeous era. What's your least favorite Beyonce era?
The baby bangs. What was going on, mama?
Well, she had bangs, so we know she was going through it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. What was that performance where she's like, I don't know if they're baby bangs, but she has like, she's in, I guess it was Me, Myself, and I, it looks like, because she had the bangs, she had the long hair, and all of her background dancers were dressed as her. I love when artists make their background dancers dress exactly like them.
Yeah.
That's the cutest thing ever. If you had to take Jay-Z off of a Beyonce collab, what song would you do it?
If I had to take Jay-Z off of a Beyonce collab,
Like a Jay-Z and Beyonce song, but you don't want him there.
honestly, I was gonna say Lift Off, but I love Lift Off. Take him off. Can I add him on a song instead?
That's the next question. But you can skip to the next question.
I would add him on Alien Superstar because I do believe in my heart of hearts he wrote "Unicorn is the unicorn is the unicorn."
Incredible TikTok of a guy rapping Alien Superstar in Jay-Z's voice, and it is perfect. And I actually would love that. Unicorn is the uniform 100%. You put on. I don't do a good Jay-Z. I'm sorry. 3 essential music videos that are a window to your soul.
3 essential music videos that are a window to my soul. I haven't watched music videos in a long time, so I think these are gonna be kind of dated. Okay. The first one is "The Way That I Love You" by Ashanti. Have you seen that music?
I don't know. I don't think I have. I like Ashanti's hits, but I don't know much. Is that like a big hit of hers? I don't know.
I think so. Basically, you see she's like in a bathtub full of blood. You're like, what's going on, girl? And the whole thing kind of plays backwards. And this man was cheating on her, so she killed him.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's my soul, girl. Let me see another one. I love in Lemonade the section of. Oh, can I just do Lemonade as one?
Yeah, that's
the whole thing. And then a third one, a music video that's just got me. A music video. I'm not a big music video girl.
That's so shocking. Like, I think the music video is like one of the highest art forms. I love music videos so much. They do mean less now, but
I think something from like the Gaga. I can't. Which one is it where she has the cans in her hair and she's in jail?
That is Telephone.
Telephone.
That's Telephone. That's the first scene in Telephone.
I like that one.
Telephone's
I also really
incredible.
like Paparazzi.
Paparazzi's amazing. Shout out Skarsgård.
Yeah. Something in there.
Okay, I love your soul because I love all of those videos minus Ashanti. I don't know that. But love you, Ashanti. Come on the podcast.
Come on the podcast.
Do you want a man to sing to you romantically?
God, no.
No?
God, no. And they think I do. I don't want any of my partners to sing to me. Please don't sing to me. Because if it's bad, I'm going to be so uncomfortable. And if it's good, I'm going to be like, oh, so you think...
you think you're big enough? No. Oh, you're the star?
No, it's actually, I try not to get involved with musicians, but I'm very attracted to talent. So if I like you, I'm going to like the sound of your voice. But I really have to like you. I've lost many a creative interest because they think, oh, I'm going to show her my art and she's going to love it. And then I don't love it. And then that's the end of it. I was literally just dating a comedian like last week and he was so nervous for me to come to a show and I was like, no, it's gonna be great, I went to that show. He has not heard from me since. Like it's real bad.
That's rough, but you know what,
get like
that's
creative
real.
Ick, like what do you
also it's like do you want to be like tied down to a life of like you were so great, baby, and there's like a tear rolling down your eye?
Like I don't deserve that, and you don't deserve to be with someone who doesn't respect you as an artist. Like we gotta cut that.
Yeah, you gotta find your manager partner or someone who doesn't know that you're bad. Honestly, like that's what you gotta do, or get better. There's always that. You can always just get better. Okay, you kind of answered this, but I didn't know your answer. Are musicals man's greatest invention or greatest mistake?
Are musicals man's greatest invention or greatest escape?
Mistake.
I will say, I think one of my drama teachers once like said this to me in like high school or something, where like where words fail and like you can't express yourself through that, like that's where music comes from. Like you kind of like reach the song through that. And I really do believe that. Like I think storytelling through music is so amazing and powerful. I think we're a little Icarus. We flew a little too close to the sun with a lot of these musicals that I'm seeing. A lot of people.
Oh, you're a lot.
The stories we're choosing to tell. It's getting a little dicey.
Yeah, I saw this musical Shucked, and it was good, and it was it was good, and it got Alex Newell. Yeah,
yes.
Shout out, and she was definitely the best part. But I was just like, we are flying a little too close to the sun for a musical about corn. It's literally not about it's not even about anything. It's not about anything, but I love a good musical. I love do you have a favorite musical or one that really? I feel like most people, if they're not into musicals, they have one. They're like, okay, I saw this when I was young enough, and I love it, so I'm obsessed with it.
Like a favorite live musical?
No, like a musical movie.
Right now, I would say The Princess and the Frog.
I've still never seen that.
We're gonna watch that.
I would love to watch that.
Was I with you the first time you watched Lemonade? Yes, I made you watch Lemonade.
Wait, yes. Okay, this is the other thing. So with Beyonce, right? Let's get one thing clear. I've always liked her. I've always respected her. And I've always been a casual fan of Beyonce. But that's where it was. I've always been casual. I just felt like when I was younger, it's also so interesting because when I was younger, Beyonce to me was making music for people in their 20s. I was just not advanced enough to get it. And now that I'm older, I stand by that. B-Day is not B-Day.
It's great.
Well, also B-Day is my second favorite Beyonce album after Renaissance. But her debut album, Signs and all that, I'm how am I supposed to I love the people who were, but I'm I don't feel bad about not getting it in the 7th grade.
It's grown. It's real grown.
It's real grown. But then when Lemonade happened, that was when I started feeling I was falling behind on Beyonce, because I remember it was such a moment, and I was oh, I haven't seen it. And then you were we're gonna stop that. And I had an annotated viewing of Lemonade. I
gave director's remarks.
I suggested for everyone, you should charge people for that. It was a beautiful experience.
I'll teach classes.
And then so I was more into it. And then when she released Renaissance, I was okay, I am a Beyonce stan.
And what's the best song on Renaissance?
Break My Soul.
Isn't that
the
wild?
best song on Renaissance, and all my friends make fun of me for it.
Wild.
Isn't it wild that
so
I
serious.
like the lead single, which means that it's also Beyonce's favorite song?
That is not what lead single means.
That's what it means. Beyonce loves it the most, and she gave it a great, very special moment during the tour. It's her favorite song she's ever written. I've heard her say it.
Okay.
No, I haven't, but I do love it. Okay, and for our last segment, this is Prattle About, which is where I choose a little topic, I give a little rant, and you tell me what you feel about it.
Okay.
So today, we're going to prattle about the fact that I love the sample palooza. I love samples. I love that, how everyone's always people in rap are doing too many samples, nothing's original anymore. First of all, nothing's really that original to begin with. We know that. Second of all, samples are so fun. They're so catchy. I just love when they're really similar to the song before. I love when they're super different. I love that up and coming artists get a really cool sample. I just love all of it. I think it's really, really fun. And I kind of think of it in the way of if you bake a really amazing cake, you're just gonna never bake that recipe again. No, it works because you like it. Keep baking it, tweaking some other things, throw some orange in there, throw a little Sprite, just switch it up. And I'm just really into it. Are you a sample hater?
I'm not a sample hater. I think that, if you're going to choose a big and powerful sample, you need to make a big and powerful song. But I love the sort of reclaiming that sampling makes possible. Flo Milli just sampled, what is that? A classical song.
Oh, really? Oh, I haven't heard that.
Oh, it's a famous composer. I can't think.
Let's call it a Mozart. Let's call it a Vivaldi, Four Seasons, that vibe.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but everyone was so mad that she sampled this song, and I'm yes, I think all the rap girlies should sample all the famous composers. That's amazing because they're probably racist and rolling in their graves. I love that.
Yeah. Honestly, definitely. And also, I just feel so many of our the best songs ever are samples. So I feel people don't hate samples. I think like you were saying, people hate where a wasted sample, where they feel oh, you got this incredible iconic song and you didn't come that hard. But even then, I like those too. I love those songs too. It's just kind of the 2023 version. It's fun.
And sampling is also a lot older than people think it is. They just
don't
know the original songs.
Yeah, literally. Gross. Oh, also thank you, because I wanted to read off a list of some of my most favorite sampled songs to prove that everyone really does like it.
Okay.
So, Make My Day, Coil Ray. I'm not going to expect a lot of people to like that song, but I like that song. Saweetie, my sample queen, Tap In, and My Type. Love both of those. especially the City Girls Janae Aiko version.
Mhm.
You Can't Touch This, MC Hammer, classic.
Oh my God. Do you know the Bia one?
Bia. Yes,
Yeah,
I like
Can't
Bia's
Touch It,
too.
yeah.
I like Bia's too. And I also like songs that sample the same song, different songs. Before I Let Go, Beyonce,
Mhm.
a
Is
hit.
that a sample or is that just a cover? Go on.
So that's my favorite cover.
Go on.
And What You Say, Jason Derulo, Wild Thoughts, and Britney Spears' Toxic. So long live the sample, long live the regurgitated art, long live the remix on a classic. That's what I have to say.
And there we go. And that's that on that.
Well, everyone, we've reached the end of another incredible, amazing episode. This literally flew by. I kind of thought we were 20 minutes in, and we're done. So, Morgan, thank you so much for coming on Prattle. Plug yourself. Where can they find you? Where can they stream you? There's your camera. Get into it. We need to know.
I'm scared. Thank you for having me. Again, I'm Morghan Kennedy. That's Morghan. Very cute, very quirky. And you can, find me on all of your major streaming services, especially Tidal. Come on, B.
Go on.
And yeah, find me on Instagram at MorghanKB.
And y'all know where to find. Well, no, you don't actually. I keep in my mind. I'm like,
this.
in my mind, right? You found this. Yeah. And this is your first thing seeing me. Welcome. And this is Prattle with Tré Vayne. We'll be back next week with another beautiful episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Nope, I already said that. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And we'll catch. Wait, actually, hold up. I have a line that I want to use. I'm trying to standardize some shit.
Yes.
I am so excited to delve into more of people's obsessions, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Prattle. Ciao.